Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel today. I want to say good morning. I hope that it's a good day for you. I am up really early today. Well, I was up around 7 and I started doing some stuff around the house, mostly in the kitchen. Honestly, I think I should just move my bed in the kitchen because this is where everything happens. So when they say a kitchen is a woman's domain, yeah, it really is. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about a few things today. The first thing is at 10 a.m. today, I am going to have a live video where we're just going to take a few minutes and throw out prayer requests and pray for world events, anybody who needs to be lifted up in prayer, and just about 15 minutes, but we're going to do it all together. So if you would like to join me in prayer, keep an eye out for that live video that'll be coming out around 10 a.m. That's when it'll start. So the other thing is I wanted to know what everyone is doing to be prepared. What are you doing? Have you done anything? Have you not done anything? This is the most cage-rattling time in my life I've ever had. And I was knee-high to a grasshopper during Vietnam. Honestly, I don't even think World War II was this scary to people because it was over there. But it looks like world events are going to start happening here. And I don't want to scare anyone, but I just want to drive home the fact that you need to prep. You need to prepare. And I am going to give you a few tips on how you can prepare when you've done nothing so far. The first thing you want to do is start buying water. You can run your water through a Brita pitcher like I do. You can put it in cleaned out, aired out, real clean soda bottles, the 2-liter bottles. You could use any kind of container. You could use jars as long as they're, sterile. They don't have any smell. They won't pick up any taste. And a way to do that is to soak them in a dish pan or something in some baking soda. And if you have a dishwasher, run them through the dishwasher. Or if you just want to let them soak and then wash them with dish soap later and rinse them out really well, let them air dry, and then you can pour your filtered water in it that way. So if you can't afford to buy bottled water, you can start collecting containers and filtering your water and at least getting some water on the shelf. The second thing you want to do is go into your pantry, whatever it is. I don't care if you have 1 can of corn in that pantry. You go in that pantry and you write down every single thing that you have, okay? Whatever you have in that pantry, triple it or quadruple it. Buy as much as you can of what you have in your pantry because obviously that's what you use. So even if you get 2 of everything a week or, 1 of everything a week, you're doing something, okay? So that would be like non-perishables, canned foods, canned meats, things like that. The other thing you want to do is get rice. You need to buy a couple of big bags of rice. Now, storing it can be challenging for a lot of people. Lifting it can be a challenge for a lot of people. If you're not able to get a big bag of rice, like a 10 or 15, 20-pound bag of rice, don't. Get a couple of small ones. Any glass container with an airtight lid and an oxygen absorber, you can store dry goods in, okay? It doesn't have to be a 5-gallon bucket. Some people say that the 5-gallon buckets work great until they have to go in there and refill their canisters or whatever. So don't use plastic because I don't think plastic is good for long term. If you have room in your freezer, you could always store the rice in your freezer. Before you store it into a bag, a jar or a container or a bucket with airtight food grade container, you want to freeze it for 3 days and then let it sit on the counter for 3 days. That'll kill any little things in there. So now you got some water and you got some rice. Okay, the next thing you want to do is look at protein. What do you have in your pantry for protein? Do you have tuna, canned chicken, canned beans? If you want to go a step further, you can buy dry beans. You can can them up yourself. If you don't can, you could. It's cheaper to buy the dry beans. Put them in glass jars with an airtight lid, and they'll be fine. Okay, so you can also get some beans. So now you got water, beans, rice. The proteins are very important. You're going to need your canned meats. You're going to need your canned beans, lentils. Believe it or not, peas have a lot of protein. So peas are great for protein. The other thing you want to do is, now that we're getting into winter, walk around your house. Do you have a couple of blankets per person? At least 2 or 3 per person. Comforters, Afghans, odd blankets, throw blankets, whatever. I'd have at least 2 or 3 per person. Doesn't mean that they're designated to a certain person, but you should have enough blankets in your house so that each person has 2 to 3 minimum. Socks. Do you have warm socks for the winter? Do you have slipper socks? Because those are great in the winter. Actually, sometimes they're more cozy than slippers, but do you have slipper socks? Do you have your over-the-counter meds? Tylenol, ibuprofen, if that's what you take, cold medicine, anti-diarrheal, Pepto-Bismol, all those things you can get at the Dollar Tree. Also, make sure that you have some non-perishable good staples that you can actually make things with. Quick Oats. Aldi's has a big canister, 42 ounces for I think $3 or $4. Flour. You can bake bread, cakes, muffins, biscuits. You can make pasta with it. Pancake mix. Sugar. Sugar, they said, is there's going to be a run on sugar, so you're going to want to get some sugar. You're going to need that for coffee or tea, or sometimes even for baking. You need a little bit of sugar in your recipes. So take a look at what you have in your pantry. Can you put a full meal together with it? Now, by a full meal, I'm not talking 5 course, okay, because this is going to be rough times. You want a good protein, you want a healthy carb, and you want some kind of fiber. Vegetable, okay? When we were a kid, they called it roughage. Now it's fiber. So get your roughage, stock up on it. You can get canned green beans, really cheap at Aldi's. You can get peas, like I said, is a lot of protein. Corn, I don't know the nutritional value of corn, but it is a good filler. Canned carrots, canned potatoes. If you don't have a lot of room to store everything, check the free sites on the free groups on Facebook and see if anyone is giving away a dehydrator. You can get fresh produce or knockdown produce that's not bruised or not going bad, and you can slice it up and process it on your dehydrator and then rehydrate it later on. And that's a great way to store vegetables. So you're going to need food. You're going to need water. You're going to need healthy food. You're going to need your staples: pasta, rice, beans, flour, sugar, yeast. Don't forget your yeast because you're going to be baking bread. Do you have an over-the-counter box put together, a medicine box? I'm going to show you what I have in mine in a little while. Just a box that I have of over-the-counter stuff. And I'm also going to do another video on a first aid box. And I got everything from the Dollar Tree. So for $5 or $10, you can go start getting yourself some supplies. Do you have an alternative source of heat if something happens? Do you have a wood stove? Do you have a space heater? Please be careful. I do not advocate for space heaters. Some people like them, but do your own research. Use them at your own risk. I do not advocate for space heaters. Do you have a fireplace? What do you have as an alternative heat? Now, what do you have as a backup to your backup? Because if plan A fails and plan B fails, what's next? You always have to have a plan C. How many people are you prepping for? Israel is giving out warnings for everyone to stock up on 4 months worth of food and supplies. They're giving their citizens a heads up. Here, FEMA claims you only need 2 weeks worth. You do what's best for you. Personally, I don't think 2 weeks is enough, to be honest. We're preparing for some real hard times, and it's time to start doing something instead of sitting down and complaining about the prices and the shortages and the war and empty shelves and I can't find this and I can't get that and the supply chain stuff isn't coming in. Get out there and do something. It is not too late. Did you waste a couple of years? Yeah, you did. And you're going to be paying a little bit more for it now, or a lot more for it now. But if you wait, you're going to be paying even more. I just wanted to throw a few ideas out there just as a reminder for everyone to please get out there, start prepping, start getting organized. And maybe we can do a collab or something where we can all get together and prep one thing a week or one thing a day. Do one thing a day to prep. One thing a day. And you'll be on your way to being prepared for what's about to come, hopefully. But in the meantime, let's pray it doesn't come. Take this very seriously. This is not a joke. This is going to happen. Get your head out of the sand. Get your butt off the couch. Dig deep. Try to find $5 and go do something. If you can't, go to a food pantry. Do something to get yourself a stockpile going. Tough times ahead, but we can make it if we're just prepared. Catch you on my next video.